AG Sports. We're in the game. Actually, I'm at my laptop recording this. Hopefully somebody's listening out there. I know you are. Anyways, so guys, a couple things about the game last night. First of all, if you watched it, if you've been watching this channel for a little bit, you probably made some money on it. The props went like 50-50, basically. Just to kind of recap, so the one that I had given out first, which was on actually Wednesday, was Jaguars to score the first touchdown, which was a plus 300 bet, and it hit. So that one hit early and often, great way to start the week. But then, unfortunately, from there, the game kind of went sideways and not what we expected. The Bengals could not get anything going. They couldn't get a drive. And like I said in my previous videos, the Bengals really rely, and my handicapping relied, on them being an efficient, quick-hitting offense with not so many passing attempts, but more like passing completions, like I said, efficiency. And because they couldn't get anything going, they couldn't get a lead, and we thought they were going to be, or at least I thought they were going to be up by halftime, they ended up having to pass more than expected. The pass attempts actually pushed, because we had Joe Burrow under 32 pass attempts. That was a push. Those are the two that I was on personally, and I gave some others out if those weren't there. The others that I had given out, unfortunately, did not hit at all. They ended up losing. One of them was Joe Burrow under 21.5 completions. I think he ended with like 24, 25, something like that. And then the last one was James Robinson under 58.5 yards. That one also didn't hit. He ended up getting like 70. One of the things I had mentioned in the previous video was that the Bengals defensive line had looked good against bad offensive lines. And so I thought they were still going to be able to get through this week, kind of squeak it out. And if the Bengals had gotten out to that lead, the Jaguars would have had to throw more and earlier and often and all that kind of stuff. And like I said, the game script just totally went sideways on us. And because of that, we ended up getting those two losses if you were on those plays. But again, if you had been listening for a little while now, probably about a week or so, even going back to last week, I said Jaguars to win the first quarter, with whether you took the points or the money line. Either way, that paid out as well. So that one also hit. So as far as the game is concerned, there really wasn't too much to learn other than the Jaguars can get a little scrappy. They can play when the opponent is not coming to play, when they are maybe not a very strong defensive opponent. They can get something established on the ground, kind of give Trevor Lawrence a little bit of a cushion or a buffer. They can put up some points, but I really think at the end of the day, that offense is just not built to put up more than like 21 or 24 points. And because of that, you're going to just have a hard time winning when a lot of offenses in the NFL are, trying to put up over 30 points a week. And teams that are like, the Cowboys and the Buccaneers and the Rams and all that kind of stuff, obviously, those guys can put up over 40 a week. They're just not really going to have a lot of success. So until that changes, I still don't really want to be on the Jaguars too much. Although, like I said, there probably is some value with them because nobody else wants to bet the Jaguars either. As far as what's on your screen right now, if you're looking at it, guys, this is OddsJam. So I have been talking about this, talked about it a few times already, but I wanted to get into Sunday night's game, which is the Patriots and the Buccaneers, and this is probably the best way to do it. So what has me concerned is one of the plays for this week was to have the Bucs teased, and they teased it. The teaser at the time got the Bucs down to 0, so it was just a pick 'em with the Bucs. The other leg of that tease was the Ravens +7 at the Broncos. If you took maybe one piece of advice and you teased the Bucs, but you didn't tease the Ravens, that's perfectly fine. I mean, as long as the Buccaneers, you got them at 0, that's fine. Or even if you got them at 1, totally fine with that. But the reason I'm talking about the other leg, if you have the Ravens, this is going to be specifically for you. If you don't, just kind of keep it in general. What I have seen with the books, and what I have heard talked about by a lot of different casino owners, book owners, and line makers, and all that kind of stuff, is that they are riding with the Patriots. if you haven't already picked up on this, the Buccaneers opened as 6-point favorites. That has really not moved very much. It's gone from 6 to 6.5 in a lot of spots. It just now got to 7 today. And as we continue going into the week, you're going to probably see it stay at 7. I think the public would have to put a lot of money, and that's usually not the case. The public usually has the most bettors, but the sharps usually have the most money behind it. So you shouldn't really move above 7. But whatever your first leg is, if that hits or when that hits, I would say to come back, take the Patriots and the points. Why are we doing this? As of right now, 95% of the money is on the Buccaneers. 95%. With that big of a handle, the casino will usually start moving the points or start moving the VIG very aggressively. Any other game on the schedule that comes in with a 95% take on one side, that line maker is saying, well, this line's off. Let's move it. Because they're trying to get 50-50 action. They're trying to make money on the VIG. They're not trying to outsmart you with the point spreads and all that kind of stuff. They're just trying to get the VIG. They want to get your minus 110. They want to get those extra $10 that they don't have to pay to the guy who actually wins. And when they're not moving the line, that's telling you, we know something you don't. We know something about this game, or we expect something about this game that the general public doesn't know. 95% of the tickets, or 95% of the cash, but only a half a point move, maybe a point, and you're not crossing any key numbers. It's from the 6 to the 7. I mean, those are both key numbers, but they're not crossing them. You're not going down to 5.5, and you're not going above 7. There's something going on here, something fishy. So while I expect the Bucs to win, I think this is probably one of those games where they don't cover. And so at least I personally am going to be looking for the middle in this one, especially if I can get the Patriots plus 7 in the hook. And that way I would have Bucs as a pick'em to just win, and then Patriots plus 7.5, giving me more than a touchdown. If we do that, you could win one unit on your tees. For me in particular, that's Ravens plus 7, Bucs minus 0, and then win another unit on the other side of that with the Patriots plus 7.5. If you don't want to do that because maybe you think it's hedging or whatever, I understand. But just know the Patriots are going to be scrappy in this one. I don't expect them to win, so I think if you tease it down to a 0 or 1 or whatever, you're totally fine. But I do think it's going to be a tighter game than a lot of people are expecting. And I would rather have both sides of this one once that first leg hits, because now you have an amazing middle that includes the 3, the 6, and the 7. So be on the lookout for that, guys. Like I said, with Odds Jam here, it's going to give you all the different books that have different lines on this one. So I think your best one here, if you're looking for the plus 7.5, right now it's at minus 120 on FanDuel. But if you want to just get the plus 7 right now, Bovada, Bodog, and my bookie all have it at minus 105. Again, these numbers will change as the general public starts putting their money in, probably by Saturday afternoon, but especially by Sunday, because this is a Sunday night game. You're going to have a lot of money coming in, a lot of people chasing their losses from the day, and they're all going to say, give me Brady minus the 7. How can he possibly lose? It's the Buccaneers, the Patriots suck, whatever. And I'm thinking you are going to find that 7.5 at the minus 105. Just again, wanted to put this out here, guys. I'm making that an official play. I'm going to take it to 7.5, or I'm going to take it at 7 if it doesn't move. But again, once it hits 7.5, I'm grabbing it ASAP. Lastly, guys, as far as Odds Jam, one thing I wanted to show you and why this is worth it. It can be a little pricey if you want to get signed up here. I believe for the whole package, it's like $700, but they do have different packages, designs, and things like that. But this is what makes it worth it, guys. They do show you arbitrage opportunities across the board. All of these opportunities here are arbitrage. So what do we mean like that? And I'm sure most of you know already, but arbitrage is obviously when you can take one side at a certain price, take the other side at a certain price, and it makes it to where you basically cannot lose. This one in particular is Georgia Tech versus Pittsburgh. If we look at this here, Georgia Tech +8. Actually, let me just open this. Oh, you can see what I'm talking about. That's a 3. Where's our 8s? Here we go. Okay, so if you take Georgia Tech +8, it is at -200. If you take Pittsburgh at the +220, you are effectively getting your arbitrage. So again, just a quick example of this, guys. Take the Georgia Tech -200, so you're laying $200 to win 100. Pittsburgh, you're gonna lay 100 to win 220. You are really hoping that Pittsburgh covers this. If Georgia Tech covers, you get your $200 back plus the $100, which is going to pay for this bet. So you just break even. If Pittsburgh covers, you get your $100 back, of course, for the bet, plus your $220, which means you made $20 above this, which is also known as 10%. So it might not seem like much if you're only doing $20, but if you have the money to buy this particular plan, it will show you every arbitrage opportunity on the board. Again, I've said this time and time again. Once you find that arbitrage, it is not betting. You are just waiting for your money to get printed out. That's all it is. It's going to show you, again, every single... This is literally the line of arbitrage opportunities this week. This is probably the only time I'll be able to show you this, guys, because I can't keep showing their stuff for free. But I wanted to let you know what was out there. And, guys, it's worth it. If you have money to put into this, to invest in this, it is exactly that. It is investing. Again, it's $700 up front for the most part for the whole item. But if you take that $100 or the $700, and if you have some more money, again, obviously you'll need more to invest in that. But if you can make 10%, 20% on every bet and not have to worry about losing anything, you're going to make that back and way more very quickly. I think so far to date, this arbitrage system they have set up right now is up like $400,000, something like that. That's just this season. So, anyways, guys, hopefully this is helpful. Hopefully some of you will sign up for this and just start making the money. Or should I say really just taking the money that they're offering you here. Anyways, guys, let's go make this money. Have a good weekend. Good luck.